I now go on to introduce, of course, before the valedictory speech of Swamiji, the last speaker of the day. It would be an attempt myself to introduce her in some words and in some context that not many of us know her. Dr. Sharada, as the president of RMCL, does not need introduction to any of us. She has taken over the presidentship of the Ramana Maharshi Center for Learning after the sudden demise of our founder president, Sri A.R. Natarajanji, who was at the helm commanding this institution for over 28 years since its inception. She is a PhD in English literature and a gold medalist at that. She is the editor of the Ramana Way, the monthly journal from the Ramana Maharshi Center for Learning, and she's been so for the last 3 decades. She's an important faculty in the annual spiritual workshops conducted by the center both in Bangalore and Madurai. Her understanding of Bhagwan's teachings and penning the same in her editorials with suitable analogies is something remarkable and appreciated by all devotees. She has had her intensive training in Bharatanatyam along with her sister Dr. Ambika Kameshwar under the aegis of Guru Kumari Meenakshi of Veena Visalakshi Art Center, Bangalore. She has scripted many Ramana ballets in Kannada, Tamil, English and Hindi. Soaked in Bhagwan's life and teachings, she had done the concepts for most of the ballets produced by the center. She is also a core singer of the Ramananjali. As director of Ramana Nritya Kalaranga, she has directed and choreographed close to more than 60 ballets so far in Kannada, Tamil, English and Hindi. She was in charge of a 26-episode serial of Ramana Maharshi on Prasar Bharati in all these 4 languages, Hindi, Kannada, Tamil and Telugu, which was produced by RMCL in the year 2006-07. I now call upon her to deliver her talk on the theme, present and the presence.
Samayamid ni nimala varvata amala venkata ramana devane samayamid ni nimala varvata amala venkata ramana devane Yamanai vendra tal kamala nalguvai imayamelurai aruna ishane Yamanai vendra tal kamala nalguvai imayamelurai ramana ishane samayamid Ninimala Varvata Amala Venkata Ramana Devane. Muruganar Swami says, "This now is the time, my Lord. Now give the gift of bliss, Ramana, Immaculate. This now is the time. Samayam idu ni nimala varvata." This song is also very dear to me personally, to me and Ambika and all of us, because this is the first Ramana song which Ambika and I were taught by Amma when we went to Tiruvannamalai to meet Muruganar Swami. We were at that time at Delhi, and we went to see Muruganar Swami as we would always do, and we chanted some verses in Sanskrit because we were not very familiar with Tamil. Although Amma would make a valiant effort to introduce us to our mother tongue during every vacation, we were still not very familiar with it, and therefore we sang some verses in Sanskrit. And then Muruganar Swami asked, "Don't the children know any Tamil songs?" And Amma said no, because of their not being very familiar with Tamil, being in Delhi. But I will certainly teach them some songs before we come next year. Because we were there for one more day at Tiruvannamalai. And then we went back to the Morvi guest room And Appa immediately told Amma, he said, what do you mean next year? Who is going to wait till one more year? Muruganar Swami has asked something and you want to wait for one more year. What happened to today for you to teach? What happened to today? Tomorrow we can still meet the Swami. We have just finished dinner and come. It is 7:30 in the evening. Amma said, Sannidhi Murai, Tamil is very, very difficult. For me also it was difficult. These children, how will I manage? But since Appa had said it, and since Muruganar Swami had already said it, so she opened and she started looking for some simple songs. And the song which she found was Samayam Idu. This is the time. My Appa also said, this is the time. Don't postpone it. No postponement. No post-dated checks. As Swamiji said yesterday, no post-dated checks here. Appa had also earlier written an article. Here it is cash and carry. So, no post-dated. Let us finish it. So she taught us Samayamidari and Achala poetry. So I was remembering this song as we started on this theme of the present and the presence. We have in these 2 days been through great expositions about the presence, and it has literally taken us to the presence. So my job is actually probably only to sum up what has happened in a way, or perhaps to take a slightly more simple view. Everybody has talked about Bhagavan's presence, so I thought that I will also take a simple view and go into some questions about the present. What is time? Where is time? For whom is time? If we look upon present as a part of time, then we need to understand what is time and where is time and for whom is time. What is actually the most important factor in our lives? What is the most important factor in our lives? What governs our entire lives? In fact, what is life itself? Time. Yes, that's the answer. It's time, time, time. That answer is time, every time. Answer is always time. Time is what our life is about. We have a time. As he said, what is time? Swamiji said, what is your life? It's an interval between birth and death, he said. Time. So our life is timed. When that is the case, and we are always concerned about time. We are worried about time. We are anxious about time. But like many things in life, we never find time for time. We never find time. We are too busy living. We are too busy with the life to know what living is about. We are too busy worrying about time to know what is time. So Bhagavan comes to our rescue and he says, find out. Arayir kalanume yar. If you find out, and this mantra he gives us, scrutinize what is time, this mantra he gives us where? At the time where he is praying for Mother Aragamma to be saved from the jaws of death. When he is composing a prayer to Arunachala to save Mother Aragamma from Kala, the embodiment of time, therein also he finishes. Kala Kala un Kamalappadam Sarnda Balan Nennai Indral. And he is saying, she has given birth to me who has taken refuge in you. You are Kala Kala. All that he says. And then he finishes, Arayir Kalanume Yar. Who is this time? What is time? And we have heard over these 2 days that time is something which Wikipedia says that all the philosophers, all the people who have been there through the times have failed to describe what is time. So how can we take the courage to describe what is time? So we are not going into the philosophic, the total import of time, but time as a reality, we do know. We have some acquaintance with time. All the time, we are acquainted with time. And Bhagavan's way is always to take us from what we know, from the known to the unknown. That is the way of Vedanta also. So, that is what Bhagavan does. What do you know? Don't worry about what you don't know. You know something, isn't it? So what do we know? What do we know about time? What is our acquaintance with time? What do we know about time? We know, we see the clock. That's time for us. That's the first thing we learn when we are little children. We are taught that this is time. You have to read time. So, before we understand time, we look at a clock and we see the clock is time. We see the calendar. We say it's time, right? So, it is, yes, it is a measure. It ticks, tuck, 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 and it's moved from here to there. We say 10 minutes have passed, 1 hour has passed, 2 hours have passed. So, it's something which we are able to measure. It's something which we are able to measure. And what is that which we are measuring? We are measuring a movement. Yes, as he said, time moves. Time is a measure of movement. Something is moving and we are measuring it and we are saying it is 10 minutes, it's 1 hour, it's 1 day, it is 1 month. Even if you look at the old way of looking at time, it is the hourglass. In the hourglass, the sand literally pours down. It literally moves. When it finishes moving from above to below, 1 hour is over. Then you turn it, again it moves. So because of the movement, we can say that it's a measure of time is a measure of movement. To begin with, this is something we understand. When we move, this is a very sweet little picture which I picked up. It's a very different picture of the tortoise and the hare. So now let's see. Time is a measure of movement, right? We have heard of the great race between the tortoise and the hare. It's all about time. The hare goes fast, the tortoise goes slow. So let's see how long this tortoise and hare are going to take to move. Anybody is going to time them? Somebody can start timing them in seconds. Okay, here we go. They're going together now. And they have reached the finish line. How long did it take? 5 seconds. So we know something started, something moved, something reached somewhere, and it took some time. Okay? This is our understanding of time. Okay? If something does not move, can we measure it in terms of time? If something does not move at all, how will we measure it? Or in other words, you can say that the starting position of the tortoise and hare was different, the finishing position was different, so there was a change. And what we measured was the change. We may say time is a record of movement or time is a record of change. Right? So now please look at the slides. Can you see any movement? Wait. Now we were here and I said time is a record of change. Can you see any movement? Nothing is happening because there were 3 slides actually there, but they were all the same. So there's no change. You don't feel any movement. You don't feel any passage of time. In fact, if you look at our time, which is the day, the night and everything, it happens because the earth rotates, because the earth moves. Because the earth moves, we have sunrise, we have sunset, and we have time. If the sun didn't move at all in the sky, where would time be there for us? We say when the sun is in the east, it is morning. When the sun is up above, this is what will teach the children, no? Put your right hand and face the sun in the morning, that is east. Then your left hand is pointing to the west, because by the evening the sun is going to go there. Up above your head when the sun is there, it is noon. And because of the sun's positions, we have the different ways of measuring time, the sundial, the shadows and all which are cast. So if we don't have any movement, if we don't have any change, then we will not be able to actually understand what is this phenomena of time, or it might never have come to our mind at all. So where is actually this time existing? This is a question. Is time something concrete? Is time something? Of course, we know that in this, from the point of view, when we look at it from the Advaitic point of view, everything is relative. There is nothing which is absolute other than the truth, other than the self. There is nothing which is absolute. But even within the relative realm, if you take a mass, for instance, if you take the weight of this weight will remain the same if you take this weight here, or if I take this rostrum to Jigni also, or if I take this rostrum now to USA, the weight will remain the same. Is time like that? That is a question which we need to go into. So let us look at time, whether it's relative or it's absolute, in terms of some of the terms that we use for time. Okay, we say fast and slow. Those are time terms, right? Somebody is moving fast. It's in terms of time that we are defining it. Or we say new and old. New is that which has come into being in recent time. Old is something which has come into being in very time long past. Okay? But then what is fast and slow? As we saw this tortoise and the hare, no? If this hare sits on top of the tortoise, then the hare also becomes slow. So it's relative. It's completely relative. And in any case, the hare is faster than the tortoise, but the hare is not faster than the cheetah. As Ambika often tells me, in comparison to the aeroplane, ships are very slow. But ships by themselves, whether they are slow or fast, we don't know. It is only a relative measure. Time is a relative measure in terms of fast and slow, in terms of old and new. Something which is old, for instance, there are leaves on the tree. They are old mango leaves. In the spring season, before the spring, all the leaves will fall off and new leaves will come. Those new leaves, will they be papaya leaves? Will they be papaya leaves? Will they be gulmohar leaves on the mango tree? No, they'll be the same old mango leaves. So are they new or are they old? We don't know. So new and old again is a very relative term. So people may say, no, don't confuse us with all this fast and slow, new and old. These are all abstract terms. We look at concrete facts, like our age, for instance. No? That's time. You can time it. My birthday was on such and such a day. 1 year, I'm 2 years old, I'm 10 years old, I'm 50 years old, I'm 51 years old. But if we look at our age also, if in terms of time, our age can be measured as a physical age, as a physiological age, as a mental age, and a spiritual age, perhaps, if we can gauge a spiritual age. Now, the physical age is what we count by the calendar. Okay, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. But whether the physiological age corresponds for everyone with the physical age, we can't say, because we have people with special needs who in whose case the physiological age, some part does not develop properly. What the child should be doing physiologically at 6 months, the child does not do. At 4 years, the child does not do. At 4 years, physiologically, the child is only 2 years old. So physically 4, physiologically 2, mentally probably only 6 months. All those ages are there within the same individual. And each one of us may have contradictions which are not so very evident, but still there. And at all points of time, we are capable of behaving mentally as if we are 1 year old or 3 years old. Suddenly we can behave like that. Then people around us say, don't be so childish. So suddenly our mental age changes, though our physical and physiological age might be okay. So which is our age really? And in terms of spiritual age, people say, we don't know. A child of 2 may be a spiritually very, very, very senior person to a person who is 80, 85 years old, on account of what we say the previous janmas. So which is the age? Which is, how do we measure even something simple as our own age? So time is obviously very, very relative. It's very, very relative. That's why they say you can't define time. But we all have this time. Where is it? Obviously, then even say, okay, even this age thing seems to be confusing us. Come to something simpler, very simple. Okay, come to something like summer and winter, day and night. Why are you going to other things? Day and night. Everybody can have day and night, right? So it's very simple to understand. Day and night happens for everybody. Okay, so what is the time now? Any one of you can tell me? Okay, now it's 5 o'clock. Where is it 5 o'clock? Here it is 5 o'clock, right? Here it is 5 o'clock. Now, in America, right now, what is the time? Now it is 5 p.m. 6:30 in the morning. Okay, right now we are still on the same date of the calendar, but it's quite possible that earlier in the day, if I had asked you the same question, we would have been on 23rd and they would have been on 22nd, and if I had called them, I would be calling them in yesterday. I will be in today, I will be calling them into yesterday. And when they call me, they will be calling me into tomorrow. That's why it's quite possible we have this great blessing in terms of email in case we've forgotten some of our friends' wedding day or birthdays or something. If we remember in time, we can quickly send it and it'll get into yesterday. They will get it yesterday. So we are talking of time as if it's a continuum, yesterday, today, tomorrow, whereas simultaneously winter and summer are existing in different hemispheres, simultaneously day and night are existing in different parts of the earth, and different time frames are existing everywhere, and we are thinking as if time is something very fixed, very real, very concrete, something we can grapple with or something we can chase after and do something about. Where is time really then? Where is time? Yeah, it's in our minds. Time is only in our mind.